Alafia, I say, Namaste, Aho. And thank you for watching Shadow of Wolves. I thank all of you. I'm sending you all of you Alafia, love, peace, happiness. Ireomo, Ireoma, Ariku Babao. Welcome to Shadow of Wolves. Today we're going to cover different topics. Topics regarding Orisha. What is Santeria? What does it mean to have Santeria crowns? I cannot cover a lot. I do not want to bore you guys, but I'm going to touch on the main topics that you ought to know. The second video in part 2, I'm going to talk about being careful of those scammers, being careful of getting confused, because maybe you could be a scammer and you don't know you're a scammer. Words, maybe you don't know that if you buy statues in depiction of Orisha, that you have Orishas in your house. You don't. Statues are a way that we beautify our home, our decor, and our Orishas. And our actual Orishas are received through ceremony of consecration of several days. It takes preparations of years, because a person may not be too sure of whether or not they want to be involved in Santeria. Now, I'm telling you this, I'm not saying for you, to come on this side and be involved in Santeria. Once again, not everybody is meant to be crowned. Some people are great, beautiful spiritualists. Some people are great Christians. Some people just want their bead ceremony and that's it. It all depends on you and how far you want to go. Now, I did write some things down in understanding what is a Santera. People think, oh, Santeria is witchcraft, is bad. No, this is not the movies. This is not a horror film where we have to say, oh, there's all these candles and this person is praying to statues and that's Santeria. That is not true. Santeria is a beautiful faith. Beautiful. Where it was glided all the way from Africa to Cuba to Puerto Rico to Brazil to Trinidad and all these different countries. Now, people are switching things up. They just go, and you cannot go to a Botanica and just buy a set of beads and put them on and be like, oh, I got Orishas on. This, for example, is my beads, and I just, for an example, I decided to show you guys this, of my father, my crown, Ochosio de Mata. I cannot just go and buy them. The beads have to go through a certain process of being washed and being certain things done, because I don't want to give away all the secrets, but it has to be done by someone who is crowned in Orisha faith, what we call a Santera or a Santero or a priestess of Orisha or a priest. Okay, so that is how it's done. Now let's go into what I'm talking about in terms of scammers. Well, scammers could be someone, they go and they just buy an Elegua from a Botanica. That doesn't mean you have a Elegua in your house. Yes, guys, you can pray to Orisha. If you don't have anybody, but you know of your Maya, you heard of her, there is nothing wrong with going to the ocean and saying a prayer. I'm not saying that that's going to save you 100%. If you got it in a reading and a Santera or an Obariate or a Babalao that is ordained, or like myself, a priestess, a Santera, and they tell you in a reading, or they tell you, listen, you got to do this and this, and that's different. But if you feel from your heart, before I even knew about anything, and as I always grew up in spirituality on my mom's side and so forth, but if you have faith and say, I want to talk to you, Maya, I'm going to the ocean, there's nothing wrong with that. Your Maya is not going to say, oh, I don't know you. You didn't come here through Ode Niwe, Ode Guado, and say, okay, you know what? I can't hear what you're saying. No, that's not true. Because if that's the case, then we shouldn't be praying to Jesus, and we shouldn't be praying to, let's say, Mother Mary, because we don't have a crown as Pope Francis or the Pope. So the Orisha, that's the thing that people, they get so discouraged when it comes to the confusion of Santeria, of Ifa, because they feel like there's too many demands on them. Guys, no, you can pray. I'm not saying that, that you got to keep doing it all the time. You should, if you're really that much into prayer for the Orisha, and you feel like, you love, let's say, Obatala so much that you really should consider going and getting your bead ceremony. Everything is a sacrifice. But once again, you cannot, and as you hear, I have little eleguas running around, they're playing, which is good. Very good energy for this world that's going on today. We have kids running back and forth. It's beautiful energy. But going back to it, buying a statue and making an altar and saying you're doing witchcraft with an orisha, you can't do. Orishas are consecrated and they're received in Ocha during a crowning. Okay, so that's something to understand. And we'll get further into that. I don't want to bore you with too much information. I just want to see if there's anything else that we need to know. Okay, so when we pray, once again, like way back when, I don't know, 15 years ago, I used to go to the ocean all the time. And I used to pray, I used to talk. Then 5 years later, after that 10 years, as I'm 5 years crowned, I knew who lived at the ocean. I would visit Yemaya every year for my birthday, regular born day. She turned out not to be my crown, but to be my mother. Because when you have all this restriction, or you can't go pray to Yemaya because you don't have your beads, it wasn't in the reading. That's not true. You work with what you have. I'm not crowned as Pope Francis, but I have the right to pray to God. I have the right to pray to Jesus, which is Yeshua, which I also believe. So Santeria is a fusion between Catholic religion and faith of Christianity with African religion. It's a fusion, and it is absolutely beautiful. To do spell work, with an orisha, I never heard of it. Orishas don't do no bad. They are angels from God. So please remember, when people are saying, oh, you know, you're doing Santeria. No, you're not. It's not anything evil about Santeria. So let's get that part straight. And another thing too is Hinduism. There are certain people that are ordained as Hindu priest and priestess. But does that stop me from saying I cannot pray to Ganesh? That I cannot meditate with Lord Shiva? I sure can. I sure can. So now another thing too, we went over the myths. This year, for those who are Aleos, for those who are crowned, for those who have just their beads or who have warriors, guys, please be humble. Respect your elders. Respect your elders. Don't challenge your elders. And the elders also have to respect their Aleos, which means someone who's starting out in the Orisha faith. We have to respect each other. Meaning, do not challenge and disrespect. Please, we have to have respect this year because Olokun is coming in very, very strong. Ochun is coming in very, very strong. And with the letter of the year, they're speaking about a lot of things being flooded away because they're tired of us littering. They're tired of us putting plastic on the earth, and they're tired of us littering and just being disrespectful. If you know that you broke your beads or something happened and you received your beads and you broke them, see your godparent. Always check with your Ile. Ile in Nigeria faith, and in Lukumi, Santeria, Yoruba, it means house. In my house, I do not disrespect my orishas. You come to my house, you can see everything I have. But I am not going to put my orishas on display because it's not a show for me. It comes from my Okan, it comes from my heart. And a lot of people I know, it comes from theirs. I know many Ilays, like in Palo, my tata, my godfather in Ocala, Tata Riete, has beautiful, huge barn full of pots. Is he going to be showing them all over the internet? No. I don't need to show what I have. I have it here. All the secrets of Achosi's here. So what's important is, guys, we have to be humble. I love you all. I want you all to learn. And what I don't know, I go to my elders. Everybody that has made comments underneath in different videos, half of them I know. And I love them. That's why everything sounds, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. Because I know these people. Some of them I don't know. And I thank you so much for making comments. Because some of you I don't know and some of you I do. So with all that being said, we have to show respect for our elders. We have to be humble. We cannot show what's inside. Hello, cutie pie. Let's say hi real quick. That's my baby. She's so cute. She's from next door. So she knows that I'm a Santera, and she knows all the spiritual practices that we have here. And sadly, there are some Santeras who you have made our religion look bad, you know, and I'm sorry about that. Even in the Catholic faith and the Christian faith, there are some, you know, priests and popes that have made us look bad. So there's no perfect in everything. I can only speak for myself. I love my Orisha, and I'm praying that those who are listening and watching, I pray that Achosi gives you the ire, so that you can get crowned and that you can be humble and that you can teach, and you can, especially you younger people, that you can keep spreading the word. Santeria is not evil. It's not witchcraft, guys. You can do witchcraft with Palo. You can do Wicca. You can do it, I guess. But when it comes to Orisha, we respect our Orishas. We are humble about our Orishas. And the reason why we have to respect elders' crown as they respect us is because they have their Ori. They have their crown. So they're walking with that energy of that Orisha who is watching everything that you do and everything that you say. So that is what's most important. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I'm going to go into scammers in the next video, but I did promise my friend Iris and a couple of others that I'll do more spiritual work, but I had to share this with you guys. I can buy a whole bunch of sopetas and put it around me and be like, oh, you know, if I'm not crowned, and say, oh, but guess what? The empty vessels make the loudest noise. Those who want to show what they have. I'm not here to sell myself to anyone in the public that is listening. I have my godchildren that come in here. I have people that just come in for readings. That's what's most important. Florida is very strict, by the way. So please, anyone who's thinking about faking Orisha or faking Babalao, they're very strict. We all know each other. We go to many different ceremonies. We see each other. I have been lifted and blessed to work many, many different Orisha, Ocha, crowns. I've been blessed to do that. And they have a list. They know who you are. They know who you are. They're not gonna, so don't think that you can walk into a Santo room or you can walk in anywhere and lie, because it will catch up to you, and then it becomes very dangerous for you. I've heard many, many nightmare horror stories. So for me and my Ile, my godfather, he would have a fit. I don't get a chance to see him as often, but I do hear from him once in a while. He would have a fit and faint if I put all my Orishas around me. What for? I'm not selling my Achosi and myself. No way. No way. So we always have to be humble, guys, because this is why we throw ourselves to our godparents and elders. When you see and you go to a drumming and you see people throwing themselves, and it's according to who their guardian angel is, that's a form of being humble. It is a form of being humble. So that's the first step in Santeria faith, in Ocha and Lukumi, is being humble. We have to respect our Ile, and we have to respect our elders. This year, please look into the letter of the year, 2021. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I believe I've covered a lot of stuff, but once again, if you have statues in your house, that is not, you can't put an altar up for Ochun. You can't, I mean, some people have shrines and whatnot. You have to respect the fact that these statues is not really going to do anything. That's not Orisha in your house. Orisha in your house is having a consecration and a full ceremony where you're a Yabo, which is a Yawo, a bride of the tradition, humble, all white, no makeup. I'm not a Yabo, I'm 5 years out already, but that's what it's about. Those people have sacrificed to make their Santo. They have sacrificed this. So you can't just jump in and fake this, because that with the loudest noise, the emptiest vessels make the loudest noise. I could trick somebody and be like, oh, I have Osai and get all this stuff here and buy it from Ross. But it's not there. You have to be humble in what you have and respect your Iles, respect your elders, and please do not get Santeria mixed up with statues. When I showed you the statue of Obatala, that's because my godfather and people from my Ile, I'm not going to disrespect them and then show my sopera with everything inside. I'm just not going to do it. I don't have to. I have a Chosi crown. And people, hundreds of people here in Florida know me already, as they will know many of you. So with all that being said, I thank you for your blessings, and as I'm blessing you, and I thank Alafia, Alodumare, Ireomo, Ireoma, Arikubabao. Stay tuned for part 2. A brief video about scammers, and you guys gotta be careful. I love you, and you. Alafia. Timba lese alo dumare. Timba lese alo fiokan. Blessings.